So remember, in each room you're going to inspect for not only areas that are damaged, but areas that are not damaged as well. So here we are in a typical bathroom. Again, what we want to first figure out is the area of the bathroom. So what we have here is a box with a box offset. So the first thing we're going to do is measure the area. So we'll start by the exterior wall. So long wall to long wall. So again, 15 foot 10 inches in that area. And we'll come to this side here and get this whole over area as well. So 1510 by 16 foot 7 inches. Again, making note of your height if the height is actually a different area as well. So let's just go ahead and get a height as well. In this case, the height of the ceiling is 8 foot 7 inches. Go ahead and get the additional measurements for the area here. So you're just going to get an inside laser measurement here, which is 3 foot 4, into the outside window, which is 5 foot 3 inches. So we have all of the measurements that we need. So now we're going to look for any damages. So as we've said over and over again, the interior piece you always want to inspect from the ceiling down, depending on the type of loss that it is. The exception to that would be if you have a flooding loss or something that would have come from the ground up. We invert that and then do that from the floor to the ceiling. But let's assume that we have a typical roof leak here, or that's the cause of the claim. So we're going to do this one again, ceiling down. So we've got the ceiling area, we've looked. So now what we're going to do is get the entire ceiling area. So we're going to slowly pan through the ceiling area and show that I've got no damages at all to the ceiling in this room. I've got no damages at all to the ceiling. Everything looks good. So I've got no areas, in fact, that have any roof leaks in here. So I've panned through the entire ceiling. So now I'm going to go down and get the wall area. So I'm going to start on the doorway, and I'm going to get the wall area of all of the walls, showing that there's nothing damaged on the walls. No damage, no damage, no damage, no damage. And everything looks good throughout. So now we want to double check the floor. Again, here we're going to identify the type of floor. So here I'm on a travertine floor. I've got no damages to the floor in this area at all. No damages here. Everything looks good from the floor. So I'll make a note in this room that it has no damages. Let's assume that we did have damages in this bathroom, and we need to get some additional measurements because there could be some things that need to be replaced. Typically in a bathroom, you're going to want to look for the type of sink material you have. So here we have an undermount sink, again mounted underneath the actual countertop of the vanity top. And so we made note of the sink and that it's a 2-hole sink here. Countertops are another area, so let's just start with countertops as an example. So we'll pull our tape measure and realize that this countertop is 7 foot 6 inches, and we want to get a width as well, and we've got a 2 foot countertop width. We'll get a backsplash height, so we have a backsplash of 4 inches as well. And I have exactly the same sink over on the other side, so I know I can double my measurement and show that that's the area. I've got a center island here, so I want to measure the center island as if we were having to replace the countertops to match. And so I've got a countertop that's 5 foot 9 inches with an overall width of 4 foot wide. So now that I've got my countertops, I can move on and get lower cabinets. So the same thing again, I'm going to go here, and I know this lower cabinet, because I measured the countertop already, is 7 foot 6 inches. And again, as I said, I've got a countertop on the other side that's the same 7 foot 6 inches. This center island is a little bit unusual because it appears to be a double width cabinet, and that's in fact exactly what it is. So it's 2 cabinets that are sandwiched together with end panels on it. So the total linear footage of this cabinet is actually not just the 5 foot 9 inches that the countertop is. It's actually 5 foot 9 plus 5 foot 9. And then of course you've got the end panels that you would add on separately if you were replacing these cabinets that are 3 foot 6 by 2 foot 6 on both sides. So again, each time we're getting the dimensions, we're taking out for the areas that are duplicitous. We've made note of the undermount sink. That's an additional charge. And we're going on from there. What else would we look at? So we've got a toilet. We've made note of the baseboards. We've got a travertine baseboard. If in fact that were damaged, we want to get the height of that. So in fact, in this case, it's a 4-inch baseboard. So we made a note of the baseboards. We got the lower cabinets. Now let's just get the full height cabinet. So this is a full height cabinet with nothing, it's not sectioned off uppers and lowers. So our full heights are 4 foot 6 inches, And again, no different than my lower cabinets on this side, I've got a 4-foot 6-inch full height cabinet on the other side. So I've made note of both of those full height cabinets. Now the only thing that's remaining are the upper cabinets for us to take note of. This is unusual only because it's not a continuous full height cabinet. It's actually 2 cabinets joined with a valance in between. So we're actually going to measure each of these cabinets individually. So I've got 1 foot 9 inch plus another 1 foot 9 inch. And then I'm going to measure the valance in between itself. The valance is a total is a 4 foot valance. And then of course I've got some crown molding here that is again the same length as my lower cabinet of 7 foot 9. Again, I'm just making note of each of the things that are here because each of those components all add to the estimate to make sure to estimate that loss properly. So I've identified the lower cabinets, we've measured the upper cabinets, we've got the full heights, we know the floor, we've got a shower over here on this side, we've got 3 shower heads, there, a sunken tub, it looks like a jacuzzi tub because of the jets. We would note brand if that's at all relevant, if you can see the brand that's here. So check for brand at all. Again, there's not a mark present. If this room were affected, we would actually do a little more investigation with the homeowner to figure out the age and the brand of the tub. One of the things that we didn't talk about when we did the ceiling, walls, and floor are the number of light fixtures or additional things that you may have to detach and reset for the ceiling. So in this case, I've got 12 recessed lights, and I've got 2 speakers and a chandelier. So I've made note of all of the light fixtures that have to be taken off as well too. If we had some damages here and we had to paint the walls, we would look at the additional features that are on the wall. So I've got towel rods over on this side. I've got, let's see if we've got anything else we need to address. So I don't think so. I've just got the 2 towel rods on this side. Everything else is pretty straightforward. Now, obviously, if we're painting the walls, we need to take out for the openings, the large openings that are here. So in this case, I've got a door, I've got a large bay window, another large shower in the shower, and obviously that shower is tile surround, and I've got a double door as we walked in. So we want to get these measurements as well, because these areas will be backed out of the total square footage for painting the walls. So in this case, the door is a 4 foot by 7 foot or by 6 foot 5 inch door opening. The window openings we already got from the onset, so it's 3 foot 5 inches wide. And let's just get the height of that window. The height of the window is 4 foot 8 inches. So we know the dimensions of that because we measured that as an offset. So we now know that because it's 5 foot 8 inches, we can take that area out as well too. The last thing we'll do is get the measurement of the picture fix window here in the shower. So here we're measuring this. This is 2 foot 4 inches by 6 foot 4 inches. So again, forgive the echo as I'm in the shower here. But we've got the dimensions of all of the openings that we need. One final thing, if we're painting the walls of this room, as I said before, we want to take out the areas that don't have paint. So in this case, the entire shower surround, when I was in there, I made note earlier that this is a tile surround. So we want to measure the shower because that square footage is going to be deducted from the total square footage of painting the walls. So the overall walk-in shower is a 4 foot by 6 foot shower, so we would deduct that square footage from painting of the walls and ceiling. We'll get the door behind us here. That's a double door, so I know that that door is 7 foot 2 by 6 foot 7. And now we've got all of the missing walls that need to come out to properly estimate any damages that would be in this bathroom. This bathroom being pretty typical of things that you would look for, baseboards, towel bars, toilet rod holders, sinks, detaching and resetting sinks or faucets. Again, just narrate and make sure that you're making documentation of everything that you see that you think might be affected because of the repair. So here's an example of a bathroom. We'll move on and get some other rooms to scope throughout the process, and hope you've enjoyed our time. Thank you.